Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about flipping items and reselling things for a profit online. Seen a lot of talk recently online about flipping items and drop shipping for a quick and easy profit. A lot of these videos coming from TikTok and other social media websites. 30-second video looks super easy. Make a couple $100s, couple $1,000s a month. Easy income. But I'm here today to offer you some of the tips and to break up some of the myths surrounding reselling items online. Recently, there's also been a lot of people trying to flip hand sanitizer, masks online for a profit. Don't know really how I feel about that. But for everything else, let's jump into the video. First thing you want to consider is the fees associated with it. Virtually all of the videos I've seen on TikTok and online, none of them talk about fees. You're not getting all of the money. If you sell something for $20, you're not getting all that $20. For example, eBay and Amazon, I'm going to focus on eBay today, but they have listing fees, final value fees, transaction fees. eBay gives you 50 free listings a month for you to list items, auction or bid style, and after that they charge you per listing, and this depends on the category of the item. And they also charge you a final value fee, which is calculated as a percentage of the item depending on what category it's in. There is a monthly maximum, but for people trying to run this as a side hustle, you probably won't reach that limit. And on top of that, you have to pay with PayPal on eBay, and PayPal takes a transaction fee for every transaction that's done through PayPal. So they also take a cut of that. So at the end of it, you're seeing 5-6% from your sale taken off from fees. And there is an app that you can find on the Apple iTunes Store or the Google Play Store. They break down the fees, give you an estimate, and tell you how much profit you'll take at the end of the day, taking into account given how much your item costs to buy, how much your item sold for, different fees, shipping fees, things like that. I'll link an app that I use down below, but if you just search it up in the App Store, there's plenty for you to use out there. In addition to eBay and Amazon, other app-based marketplaces such as OfferUp and LetGo also charge you a fee if you're shipping the item on the platform. Be on the lookout for those fees as well. I would recommend, if you're trying to sell items and trying to cut down on costs, to try to use more local-based methods so you're not being charged a fee. For example, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, buy and sell groups, things like that. Also, Craigslist, and as I mentioned, OfferUp and LetGo if you're using it local only. If you're meeting people in person or facilitating these sales privately, no one's going to charge you a fee for that, but do be careful when selling items in person. The second thing you want to consider when selling items is the demand for it. So you might see something that's really cheap or at a huge discount, you want to buy it, you say, I can sell that easy online. But some things, it might be that cheap because there's no demand for it. I had an example a couple months ago. There's something on sale, bought a couple of it, tried to sell it, eBay, Facebook, apps, OfferUp, LetGo, couldn't sell it for a couple months. So there could just be no demand for it, which is why retailers are offering such big discounts, or why people are letting it go. So do your research, check if there is a demand for the item. And when you're doing your research online, I use eBay as an example again. You're sorting through the items. If you see there's a lot listed and a lot available, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a demand for it. I always like to filter it by sold and completed items. It gives you a sense of what has sold and at what prices. But this also isn't 100% accurate, because auction style items, for example, could have a bidder bidding for a crazy price for an item and not paying for it. It's still technically sold and completed, but the buyer might have just pulled out later without you knowing. So take that with a grain of salt, but this is a good way for you to kind of have an idea of what things are selling at and for how much. The third thing you want to consider is shipping fees. If you're buying and selling items, you have to pay for shipping unless you're offering free shipping. And it is really hard to offer free shipping if your items aren't that expensive. Larger sellers are able to get away with free shipping on low-cost items because of the volume. They're able to sell thousands of items every day, and those couple dollars on each sale adds up and they're able to make money. But if you're just selling a couple items for very low prices, it might be hard to offer free shipping and be competitive in that space. Unless you're buying and reselling items from wholesalers, AliExpress, DHK, you're getting 1,000 phone cases, you're trying to start up your new store, Even then, just take into consideration how much you're charging for shipping, or if you're giving free shipping, how much that's costing you on your profits. Take, for example, you're trying to sell something for $10. It costs you $3 to ship the item. You're offering free shipping. And then eBay's also going to take a cut of it. PayPal's going to take a cut of it. At the end of the day, you're not actually making that much from your initial 10. The second thing about shipping is the time and effort it takes to package and actually ship these items. If you don't have handy printers, labels, ink, packaging supplies, boxes, things like that, this is also extra cost and expense that you have to go out and buy these items to be able to ship your items. So also factor in these costs when you're considering your profits and your margin. Once again, that $10 is going to be cut even more after all of this. I buy a lot of things off Amazon, more than I would like to admit, but I always try to keep and reuse those boxes and padded mailers that they use, because I found that I can just tear off all the labels on it, put the items in the Amazon boxes, put my own label on it, tape it up, ship it out. The only things I've had to pay for is packing tape and then the ink and paper costs associated with printing out shipping labels. But that's a really good way to reuse and keep your operating expenses down. The fourth thing you want to consider when selling items is the product testing. This applies more to consumer electronics or items that could break or be defective. You want to take the time to test and make sure that everything you're selling works and is in the condition you're describing it as. If you're selling a lot of items online and they show up broken or malfunctioning, customers are going to get mad. You're going to see a lot of returns, which just increase your cost. And also, if customers are unhappy, your account status may be in jeopardy. If you're seeing a lot of bad reviews, accounts could be closed, or shoppers could be more wary of buying from you in the future. And the fifth and last thing of all of this is the time. The time and effort it takes for you to go out and do your research, to buy these items, to list and sell these items online, to sell them, and to deal with any customer feedback or questions. If you're going out every weekend, going to discount stores, yard sales, browsing the internet, different deals that you might be able to find, this all takes time. And after you get the item, you have to inspect it, list it on the internet. When it sells, you have to ship it, you have to package it, print out the labels, you have to go to the post office or UPS, FedEx, whatever you're using to drop these items off. This all takes time. If you're not selling a lot of items, you're not seeing a lot of profits from these items, the time and effort it's taking for you to get this profit might not actually be worth it. You might be better off just picking up a few hours of extra work at your job, or doing something like rideshare or delivery services that have a more fixed and stable income. Putting your time towards those might actually get you more money on the side as a passive income source than spending hours of your day going out to yard sales and selling items for just a couple $100 profit. So this has all come from my experience buying returned items from retailers and reselling it online, mostly eBay and online groups, marketplaces. If you thought this was useful, give this a like, stay subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'm planning on doing a series in the future, taking you step by step through the buying process, the selling process, and any post-sale experiences that you have as a seller. So stay tuned for that. But if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for your time, peace out.